Croeso, welcome to the licensing committee. Um, it was supposed to start at 3 o'clock. We had in the previous, before this, we had a meeting which overran, so I do apologise. So it's 3 o'clock, Wednesday, 2nd of July 2025. We'll go on to the agenda item 1. Apologies for absence. There are none, as we are all in attendance. Item number 2, declarations of interest. Members are reminded of their personal responsibility to declare any personal or prejudicial interest in respect of matters contained in this agenda in accordance with the provisions of the Local Government and Finance Act 1992 relating to the Council Tax, Local Government Act 2000, the Council's Constitution and Members' Code of Conduct. Please note, members are reminded that they must identify the item number and subject matter that their interest relates to and signify the nature of the personal interest, and, where members withdraw from a meeting as a consequence of the disclosure of prejudicial interest, they must notify the chair when they leave. I go on to item 3, application to review a premises licence of the Wyndham Arms, 55 Glebden Street, Merthyr Tydfil, CF4 78AT, and to consider a report from the Director of Governance and Resources. Can you take, Joe? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. So this report is in relation to an application submitted by South Wales Police to review the premises licence of the Wyndham Arms. The review was submitted on the grounds of failure to promote the licence and objectives of the prevention of crime and disorder and the prevention of public nuisance. A copy of the review application with full details of the reasons can be found in Appendix A of the report. During the statutory consultation period, the Council's Head of Public Protection submitted a representation supporting the review, and a copy of this can be found in Appendix B. South Wales Police also provided a copy of the warning letter issued to Mr Jones in October 2024, and this should have been included in the report, so my apologies, but that has now been circulated to members prior to the hearing. Yesterday, Mr Jones produced 2 supporting documents, one from himself and one from his son. These documents have been circulated today to members and to South Wales Police. In terms of the premise history, Mr Jones has been the premises licence holder and the DPS since September 2009. A previous review application was submitted by South Wales Police in 2014, and a copy of the determination notice from that hearing can be found in Appendix C. A copy of the current premises licence is attached at Appendix D to the report for members' reference. The Home Office has issued statutory guidance which members must have regard to, and the relevant paragraphs for this particular application are outlined in Section 5 of the report. Members must also have regard to the authority's statement of licensing policy, and the relevant parts of that have also been identified in Section 6 of the report. In determining the application with a view to promoting the licensing objectives in the overall interests of the local community, councillors must give appropriate weight to the representations presented by all parties, the statutory guidance, our licensing policy, and they must take such steps as are appropriate to promote the licensing objectives. And the steps available to members today are outlined in 2.1 of the report. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Have we any representations from the police?
Good afternoon, Chair. I'm PCC Mosley, the licensing officer for South Wales Police. I cover Merthyr. I made the application to review the premises. So, if you don't mind, I'll sort of commence with my representations, my speech for today.
Yes, please.
So, good afternoon, Chair, Committee and all persons present. I'm here representing South Wales Police as a licensing officer as a result of an application made to the Licensing Authority by South Wales Police to review the premises licence to the Wyndham Arms, Glebden Street, Merthyr Tydfil. It has come to the attention of South Wales Police that the designated premises supervisor, who was also the premises licence holder for the Wyndham Arms, Mr Kevin Jones, recently received a police caution for the offence of handling stolen goods. As a result of this, South Wales Police have no confidence in Kevin Jones being a responsible person to be in the role of the mentioned position at the licensed premises. South Wales Police have made the decision to review the Wyndham Arms premises licence on the grounds that the premises licence holder and DPS is not promoting the licence objectives concerning the prevention of crime and disorder. It is also questionable whether the objective of preventing public nuisance is also being failed. As a police licensing officer, I work in partnership with the licensing authority and other responsible authorities to ensure licensed premises are compliant with all regulations and legislation set out under the Licensing Act 2003. It is vital that all DPSs and responsible persons are proactive in their responsibilities to comply with the promotion of all 4 licence objectives, namely prevention of crime and disorder, prevention of public nuisance, prevention of harm to children, and public safety. As a licensing officer, I have endeavoured to build positive relationships with licensees throughout the borough, engaging in an approachable and professional manner whereby I will explain why they need to comply with the premises licence conditions, to provide guidance and support where required, and to ensure the safe management of alcohol from their premises. I feel that by doing this relays a message that South Wales Police want the communities in Merthyr to be safe when entering a licensed premises, but knowing the guidelines which are highlighted in Section 182 of the Guidance for Licensing Act 2003. These must be followed, and these guidelines are there for a reason, not a paper exercise. As the Merthyr licensing officer, I am passionate about Merthyr, and from looking around this chamber, I know that every one of us want Merthyr and the town centre to thrive and to be attractive for people to visit, whether it's for daily shopping, sightseeing or events. I believe we share the same view that we want businesses in the town to thrive, to develop and to grow, to reach a sustainability that they remain in the town centre. To put this review application into context, I want to express that it is a known fact that retail theft in the United Kingdom is an epidemic that is escalating and has been going on for a long period of time. All too often we are seeing scenes of shoplifting on the national, local news and social media, instances of shoplifters blatantly going to retailers and with a purpose to take whatever they want, showing acts of aggression to anyone who attempts to prevent this criminality from occurring. Staff and members of the public were assaulted just for morally attempting to do the right thing. I'm afraid to say that Merthyr is not excluded from this epidemic. In fact, I've been provided with statistics from South Wales Police's Mid-Glam Crime Reduction Tactical Advisor, who has conducted research for me on reports to South Wales Police relating to retail theft. Alarmingly, Merthyr has the highest rate of shoplifting in comparison to Rhondda and Taff. In a study covering a 12-month period, Merthyr had 280 incidents reported, which is over the combined incidents of Pontypridd and Aberdare alone. Large national retailers are getting hit, but it's how smaller shops are experiencing significant losses which impact on them financially, with potential for them being unable to sustain their losses over a period of time and sadly will close as a result. The impact this is having on retailers and Merthyr Town Centre is hugely significant. The financial impact, but also the alarm and distress it is causing to members of staff when they observe the prolific shoplifters helping themselves to whatever they want and the threat of violence should they even attempt to stop them. The effect it has on members of the public who visit the town centre on a daily basis, do their shopping, etc. Having to witness this criminality, it must surely have a detrimental effect on whether they return to Merthyr to shop again. I want to stress that South Wales Police are doing their utmost to reassure retailers and will act upon individuals committing retail criminality. We will use the appropriate powers available to us to use against shoplifters to act as a deterrent and to protect our retail community. This brings me to the purpose of why South Wales Police's decision to submit an application to Merthyr Tydfil Licensing Authority to request the review of the Wyndham Arms as this is a matter of importance to me as a police licensing officer. I will not repeat what has been documented within the application, but I will summarise for all present here today. It was brought to my attention last year that prolific shoplifters that conducted their criminal activity in Merthyr Town Centre had been attending the Wyndham Arms immediately after committing the offence of theft to sell their stolen property. On my review application, I named 2 incidents that occurred on the 19th of June 2024 and the other Saturday the 5th of October 2024, where, on both occasions, the goods were sold to patrons of the Wyndham Arms. Local authority CCTV captured the footage. When I have conducted my own inquiries at the Wyndham Arms to view their CCTV system, it was confirmed that patrons were purchasing stolen goods for their own financial gain. Items would be distributed amongst patrons and even brought back into the Wyndham Arms. I engaged with the DPS, Mr Kevin Jones, highlighting that offences are clearly apparent and reinforced his responsibility of being the DPS and for his licensed premises to prevent this from happening. I must stress, though, that these are only 2 incidents they have documented. However, from my own knowledge and from my police intelligence, the selling of stolen goods at this premises has been ongoing for a number of years. Prolific shoplifters see this establishment as the go-to pub in town to offload the items for a small payoff. As highlighted in Section 182 Guidance for the Licensing Act 2003, where authorised persons and responsible authorities have concerns about problems identified at premises, it is good practice for them to give licence holders early warning of their concerns and the need for improvement, and where possible, they should advise the licence or certificate holder of the steps they need to take to address these concerns. A failure by the holder to respond to such warnings, to address such matters raised by responsible authorities, is expected to lead to a decision to apply for a review. Cooperation at a local level in promoting the licence objectives should be encouraged, and reviews should not be used to undermine this cooperation. It is important to note that South Wales Police advocate the use of the stepped approach when carrying out intervention at any licensed premises. I can confirm that I have taken every measure to ensure that a stepped approach was facilitated to a point where it no longer could be appropriate. Hence, why I deemed that a warning notice was necessary to be issued to the premises licence holder and designated premises supervisor, Mr Kevin Jones, on the 20th of October 2024. Within the contents of the notice described details of the incidents and highlighted measures which I felt were proportionate and necessary for Mr Jones to implement. On the 22nd of March 2025, local authority CCTV operator had identified suspicious activity ongoing in Post Office Lane, near to the Wyndham Arms. This prompted the operator to relay this information to South Wales Police. Officers attended to conduct inquiries where a known male shoplifter was detained and arrested as a result of retail theft. From playback of the CCTV footage, it was evident that this male had attended outside the Wyndham Arms to sell the stolen items. The CCTV footage established that Mr Kevin Jones had purchased the items for cash, and the items were placed inside Mr Jones's van. These items were meat products stolen from Iceland, located in St Tidvil's precinct. As a result, Kevin Jones attended Merthyr Police Station as a voluntary attendee and interviewed in accordance of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984 process. Kevin provided a full and frank admission to purchasing these stolen items. During the interview, Kevin was shown a copy of the warning notice issued to him by me, which related to the stolen goods being sold to patrons of the Wyndham Arms, to which he confirmed he had received it. On the 20th of May 2025, Kevin Jones received a police caution for the offence of handling stolen goods. Sorry? The 20th of May. South Wales Police have no confidence in the management and control at the premises due to the current premises licence holder, who is also the DPS, has committed a criminal act which is a clear statement of dishonesty and criminality. It is in my view that Kevin Jones has been clearly caught in the act on this occasion and brings into question how many times he has got away with handling stolen goods that has been purchased from prolific shoplifters previously. As highlighted in Section 182 Guidance for Licensing Act 2003, police objections to existing designated premises supervisors. The 2003 Act also provides for the suspension and forfeiture of personal licences by the courts and licensing authorities following convictions for relevant offences, including breaches of licensing law. The police can at any stage after the appointment of a DPS seek a review of a premises licence on any grounds relating to the licence and objectives if problems arise relating to performance of a DPS. To support South Wales Police's stance on the concern for the management of the premises, I want to draw the committee's attention to the fact that even though Mr Jones had received a South Wales Police written warning in October 2024 and received a police caution for handling stolen goods, it is still evident that criminality is still ongoing at the premises. It has been brought to my attention that on the 13th of May 2025, local authority CCTV operator observed a prolific shoplifter attend the Wyndham Arms to sell stolen goods from farm foods to two patrons. Further to this, there was a report to the police most recently on the 17th of June of prolific shoplifter attending outside the Wyndham selling a joint of beef which was stolen from farm foods.
What date was the last one?
This was the 17th of June. South Wales Police's decision to ask for a review of a premises licence is taken as a very last resort. In a way, it's a procedure that concedes that we, as responsible authority, have exhausted all avenues in trying to work with a premises that is clearly failing to promote the licence objectives, namely crime and disorder. As stated in Section 182 Guidance Licensing Act, a number of reviews may arise in connection with crime that is not directly connected with licensable activities. In the case of the Wyndham Arms, sale of contraband or stolen goods. I put it to the committee that the review is not to judge criminality or otherwise of any issue. This is a matter for the courts. But the licensing authority's role when determining such a review is not therefore to establish the guilt or innocence of any individual, but to ensure the promotion of the crime prevention objective. South Wales Police would ask the committee to explore the full range of sanctions available to them as highlighted in the Section 182 Guidance of the Licensing Act, in holding Mr Kevin Jones to account for his repeated failure in promoting the licence objectives, specifically the prevention of crime and disorder, and in my opinion, promoting the criminality at the Wyndham Arms. South Wales Police respectfully ask the committee to consider the revocation of the premises licence and at the very minimum the suspension of the alcohol licence for a time period that the committee deems fit. I conclude my speech and I'll be open for any questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Have we got any other representations by the police before I move on?
Thank you, Chair. May I speak?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, members.
Can you introduce yourself? Before
I am Sergeant 1047 Jones of South Wales Police. Part of my role and duties is to supervise South Wales Police licensing officers. I gained the Institute of Licensing Professional Licensing Practitioners qualification back in 2018 and have a wealth of experience of policing the licensing trade. The fundamental principles of the Licensing Act are laid out in the four licensing objectives, namely public safety, the prevention of public nuisance, the protection of children from harm, and the prevention of crime and disorder. The other underlying principle is that a stepped approach should be considered when undertaking any direct intervention. In this case, PC Moseley has undertaken such a stepped approach, an approach that unfortunately has been totally ignored by the premises licence holder. Indeed, not just ignored, but the premises licence holder himself has displayed complete disdain and committed an offence himself, that of handling stolen goods. This offence may, by many, appear not as serious as the act of theft itself. However, this is an either-way offence with a maximum custodial sentence of 14 years. This is in comparison to the sentencing guidelines for theft, which is only 7 years. Take away the supply chain, that is, the custom for these stolen goods, then the demand for any such stolen items will dramatically decrease. Mr. Jones has made himself a customer for those persons committing acts of theft on retailers across Merthyr Tydfil town centre. In doing so, he has not prevented crime and disorder, he has actually promoted it. Chair, members, I would ask you to consider this matter in its most simplistic terms. We have criminal activity linked to a licensed premises within our town centre. A town centre that is plagued by retail crime. A premises that has previously been warned regarding this criminal activity. A premises that is under direct control of Mr. Jones, who has fully admitted to be actively involved in criminality. I would ask the committee to consider what other unknown criminality is linked to the Wyndham Arms. What is going on in this premises? I ask that the committee consider these facts and revoke the premises licence for the Wyndham Arms. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Have we got any other further representation from the police? Okay, thank you. Before we go to questions and comments, I believe it's yourself, Mr. Jones. If you would like to say anything, but before you do so, could you introduce yourself, please? Yeah, just push the button. I'll wait for it to go red.
My name is Kevin Jones, and I'm the landlord of the Wyndham Arms.
Okay, would you like to say something, Mr. Jones?
Yes, it was. I'm no good at talking. My representative couldn't make it today. On the day of the offence, the shoplifter was outside the premises, and in a moment of madness, I didn't even look what he was selling. I just gave him the money and said, put it in the van just to get rid of him, that's all. I didn't even know what was there. Wine was in I don't even sell wine in the pub. I don't drink. And it was just a complete moment of madness. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. I didn't even know what it was. Meat washing up pods.
Yeah, the things that they said in the...
Wine, yeah, which I don't use any of them. It wasn't for personal gain. I just told him to put him, and to get him from the premises. Oh, I'm not pressing the button a minute.
Okay, fine, thank you. I now go to questions from the committee. Clive?
CCTV, can you confirm that from what I've read, it seems as if there's CCTV externally and CCTV inside the public house? Is that correct?
Yes,
And I think PC Moseley, am I right in saying you said that you've got 2 occasions of evidence of different things that shouldn't be happening. Both occasions, that's on CCTV?
Yeah, it was captured on local authority CCTV, which I viewed.
Right.
It's clearly evident what had happened and then I've then gone to the Wyndham Arms, engaged with Kevin, because I do feel that we have a strong relationship, working relationship. He's allowed me to use the CCTV, and it was quite evident that goods were exchanged for money. But even looking at the CCTV on one occasion, which was documented on the application, where a box of Jameson's whiskey had been stolen, this was captured on CCTV. The prolific shop drivers come, put the box down on patrons who were drinking inside the premises, has clearly helped themselves to the box and distributed it amongst themselves. They've then returned back inside the premises. But the occasions that I've documented, they have been caught on local authority CCTV. With the offence that Mr Jones has committed, this was brought to the attention by local authority CCTV. Very good evidence, clearly shows the goods being placed inside the van and money being exchanged. Money, I mean cash. So the offence was made out. In fairness, Mr Jones has fully admitted the offence, as a result of a voluntary attendee at Merthyr Police Station.
But clearly from your report, your intelligence and your suspicions from yourself and other colleagues is that other things are happening inside the Wyndham Arms. Is that a fair summary?
Yeah, I would say that's a fair summary. Obviously, with intelligence, there's something I can't share in this forum.
No.
But I would hazard a guess that there's things going on inside. In regards to sort of CCTV at the premises, it's not an up-to-date system, but it does capture the exit point where people will be standing outside on the curtilage of the front door, which will capture any offences. But there is no external CCTV connected to the Wyndham apart from the local authority CCTV.
So I'm interested. You just explained that you can see people coming in and out. Do the cameras show anything else inside the premises? It's just the doorway?
There's the doorway and certain areas of the premises. On current licences, on a 2025 up-to-date licence, we would look at a condition where CCTV footage would cover everywhere that the public has access. Now, due to the Wyndham being a slightly older licence, that words and terminology is not used. However, there are CCTV cameras in, but I'm sure that there would be blind spots in the premises.
Right. So obviously, from the police's point of view, the CCTV that's there is not adequate and not up to the standards that they should be, probably in other premises.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption, yeah.
Because what I'm interested in is that, particularly when there's CCTV around, that the police should have access to CCTV and reviewing it and reviewing it on all occasions. So apart from the two particular instances you referred to, have you viewed what's the CCTV, either from the external premise, outside or inside, in between the two instances that you referred to?
Not every occasion, no.
Right. I did have another question. I'll come back to the chair. You ask Councillor Thomas if he wants to.
Councillor Thomas, have you questions?
No, thank you, Chair.
Right. Before we go back to Clive, can I ask Mr. Jones, when the police first sent you a letter, what procedures did you take to comply with the letter received from the police?
Well, I just told all the staff to make sure that there's no druggies or shoplifters come in the pub, and there's been none in there for months now. They're doing the deals outside, they were the ones that they've been caught for, and just bringing the stuff back into the pub. But I go out and tell the shoplifters to, bugger off, and they just tell me, I won't swear, but they don't take no notice. The town is full of them.
Thank you. Clive?
I got the question now. In the report, and I quote, it states here, at present the investigation is ongoing and awaiting a proportionate charge and outcome for the offence of handling stolen goods. Just to be clear, that investigation, is that relation to October 24 or more recently?
No, that is the offence that Mr Jones was cautioned for due to the time of writing the application. The investigation has now been completed, and a police outcome was reached with a police caution. So that is relation to that.
So that's been dealt with then?
Yeah, that is the
by
offence of
caution.
handling stolen goods. But at the time of writing the application, it's now since been completed, and the officer in the case has felt that due to no previous sort of convictions, etc., that a police caution was deemed appropriate on this occasion.
Okay, thanks.
Simon, is there anything that you would like to ask?
I noticed in the letter, the warning letter back in October, you set out exactly what your concerns were. You set out at the end what the potential consequences were if things didn't improve. You also put in there some advice in relation to improving the CCTV, and also some signage to say shoplifting is not tolerated, something like that. I suppose it's to both of you. Did obviously you haven't upgraded the CCTV. I suppose it's an expensive operation, but did you put signage up?
Yeah, the signs are in the pub.
About shoplifting?
I know, just drinks and...
The normal alcohol?
Yeah.
Signage, yeah.
There's a lot of signs, yeah.
Okay. I think that's... no, I got no further questions, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Have we got anything else from the committee? No, nothing. So, you want to speak?
Thank you, Chair. Just in relation to some of the questions that have already been asked.
Can I stop you there, please?
Oh, sorry.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Chair. I'm Police Inspector Richard Gardner, Community Safety for Mid Glamorgan. And just from my point of view, to just endorse what the officers have already said, and to confirm that this premises, without going into the intelligence, it is known to us as a police service as the place to go in Merthyr to sell stolen goods. And in relation to CCTV, as a police service, what we know, when we do capture such incidents on CCTV, it's a great result for us, but shoplifters are very clever and inventive, and the fact that perhaps people going in there with no overt stolen goods on them doesn't suggest that they are not carrying stolen goods into that premises and still selling them. Shoplifters can be very inventive, and they conceal items as well. So it's our good fortune when we come across it, but that would be the tip of the iceberg.
Thank you, Inspector Gard.
Chair, I remember what I was going to ask. So the council's CCTV, I know it records down Cleveland Street. I've seen that many times. You know the post office lane. Does it record on that?
I got 3 cameras outside.
Yeah, you have. I thought about the council.
There's one up by with the spoons, yeah, it's really
so you
good.
can see both sides of. So
Yeah, sorry, Simon. The offence that was captured with the prolific shoplifter and Mr Jones, that was this local CCTV that captured directly down Post Office Lane, directing towards Cleveland Street and the front entrance of the Wyndham.
Okay, so additional cameras outside are not going to be evidentially any better than what's currently there. It's some of the spots inside that you have perhaps more concerns with. Is that right?
Yeah, thank you, Simon. I don't think the issue is regarding target hardening the premises. I think the issue is the patronage and the management of the premises. Regardless of how much CCTV we have there, CCTV doesn't prevent crime. It helps us to detect crime. The fact is we have criminal activity present in that premises.
Okay, thank you.
Have we any further questions? No. Is there any comment? No, no comments? No? Would you like to say anything else, Mr. Jones?
Since I've had the warnings, I can guarantee there's been no shoplifters in the pub. Every member of my clientele, shall I say, they just won't let them in. They're all on my side, and there's no shoplifters been in there since I've had the warnings. I can guarantee that.
But that's contrary to what the police have just said.
But there's no shoplifters in there. I don't want to lose my job. Do you know what I mean? They come to the door and they screamed at, get out and all that. You know, I'm not the only pub that they go to. They don't come in here at all now. I can guarantee that.
Okay, Simon, do you want to sum up?
Yeah. Essentially, if you've got, is there anything further you want to say at this stage? Okay, that's fine. Right. We've heard, obviously, we've read the evidence of the police. We've heard the additional comments that they've said today. We've heard from you. We've read your letter. We've read your son's letter. We've heard today that you said that since the war, well, certainly in recent months, the problem is not there any longer, and that, you know, I mean, you wouldn't allow it because you don't want to lose your license, essentially. So what will happen now is I'll ask everyone to leave. Okay, I'll stay back with the committee. We'll consider everything we've heard. We'll consider the Section 182 guidance to the Licensing Act. We'll consider our policy, and we will have to make a decision which we think best addresses the issues of the police, that they say that it's not just the licensing objective of crime and disorder is not being promoted. It's the other way. It's worse than that. That's the police's evidence that you're promoting criminality. You heard that from, I think it came from Sergeant Andy Jones. So yeah, so we'll stay. I'll stay behind. You can go if you want, or you can wait for us to give our decision. The decision will be given verbally today. Whatever the decision is, it'll then be posted in writing. Send it to yourself, to the police, and anybody else. There's a right of appeal to that decision. The police can appeal it. Any responsible authority can appeal it, and yourself, you can appeal it to the Magistrates' Court. But let's not jump that far ahead. As I said, we'll stay behind. We've got another committee at 5 o'clock, but we'll make a decision before then. We'll let you know. It's up to you if you want to stay, or you can be notified in writing or a telephone call. Okay. All right then. So if everybody could leave now.